The American Rescue Plan is aiming to help farmers, particularly Black and socially disadvantaged ones. In total, $5 billion has been allocated for minority farmers nationwide. $4 billion will go toward paying up to 120% of outstanding debt. $1 billion is designated for outreach, training, education, technical assistance, and grants. For more on this, I am joined by John Boyd Jr. He is the founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. John, welcome. It's great to have you with us again. First off, now that this has passed, are you pleased with how much money was allocated toward Black and other minority farmers? Do you believe this money was fairly distributed?
Yes, I do, and I think the measure is historic in nature. And I'd like to thank Senators Warner and Booker and the Agriculture Chairman in the House, Chairman Scott, for help pushing this issue. So it's long overdue justice for Black and other farmers of color.
And I want to play for you and our viewers something that South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham said last week about this money allocated for minority farmers. Let's listen.
Let me give you an example of something that really bothers me. In this bill, if you're a farmer, your loan will be forgiven up to 120% of your loan, not 100%, but 120% of your loan if you're socially disadvantaged, if you're African American, some other minority. But if you're white person, if you're a white woman, no forgiveness. That's reparations. What has that got to do with COVID?
So, John, what is your reaction to that? Is it fair to call these payments, quote, reparations?
No, and Senator Lindsey Graham owes me and the Black farmers in this country a huge apology, because I've been lobbying him as both as a congressman and as a senator in his time in the Senate. And he knows all about the discrimination with over 6,000 Black farmers in his state. And I've explained the discrimination that we face, Black farmers faced. Under the last administration, the Trump administration, $29 billion just in the Trump administration went to white farmers, and he didn't find any of that troubling that Black farmers didn't get a dime of that money. So he knows about the discrimination, and he's never used his megaphone to talk about discrimination, to see how he can make things better at the United States Department of Agriculture. And he said he found it troubling, and he wanted to check us. He should have been checking us when we was sharecroppers and farming in the Jim Crow. And he should have been checking this when billions and billions of dollars were going out to white farmers and none were going out to Black and other farmers of color. So he chose the wrong time in history to do this, and he's on the wrong side of history. And he needs to apologize to the Black farmers in this country. He's serving, really what he's trying to do here is bring more division out here in rural America. I've never seen rural America so divided between white farmers and Black farmers. You can cut the tension with a knife. And we need someone that can bring this country back together and move us in the right direction and begin to heal us on race, because that's what this is all about. Discrimination was about race and being denied access to loans and slow application processing, and denying us loans and denying us farm subsidies time and time again for decades. And Lindsey Graham done nothing the whole time he was in the House and in the Senate to help Black farmers in this country.
It is disappointing to hear your description of the tension between white and Black farmers, and hopefully that can be addressed. I spoke with you last month on this program about how Black farmers were losing land at very high levels in the U.S., and during that previous interview, you said you had not had great meetings with former Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue. And I'm just wondering, how is your relationship now with the Biden administration, particularly Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack? I know he was vilified during the Obama administration for not doing enough to help smaller farmers. What has your experience been with him thus far?
Well, first of all, I would like to commend President Biden for moving forward to help Black farmers like he committed to do last year in February. Well, it's been a tough time, and as I expressed to Secretary Vilsack, he called me for a few days ago and congratulated me on the bill passing the House and Senate. And I urged him during that conversation to make sure that Black and other farmers of color immediately get this relief. So now that it's passed the House and Senate and President Biden has signed this into law, it now goes back to Secretary Vilsack for implementation. Farmers of color need this relief. They need the debt relief. They need the technical assistance and outreach. And I'm calling on a speedy resolve from the United States Department of Agriculture on next steps to set up the commission and work with organizations like the National Black Farmers Association so that we can do the work that farmers need. We've been desperately waiting for this relief a very, very long time.
All right. Well, John Boyd Jr., thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.